Hey guys, we are live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I have a brand new guest with you guys for you guys today. I have Chris Jackson is here. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm good. How about yourself, man? Thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm doing well. I've been following you for a while. I appreciate you jumping on and hanging out with our audience, being our audience today to talk to us about stock options trading. But before then, real quick, go ahead and introduce yourself. If people aren't familiar with you, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them what it is that you do.
All right, everybody. My name is Christopher Jackson. I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's like south of Charlotte, North Carolina, maybe like 15 minutes. And I have a stock option trading course. In this course, I teach people how to make $1,000 a day and take them from their captivity into their promised land through trading stock options.
Yeah, so I've been following you for a while on YouTube and Instagram, and I saw that you said you average about $10,000 a month on average of profit from trading stock options. Is that
Yes.
true? Is that legit?
Yes, anywhere from 10 to 20,000 a month. And some months I may make 25, some months I might make 5,000, some months I might make 1,000. But on average, at the end of the year, it's from 10 to $20,000 a month.
All right. Well, the reason why I like your program is because if somebody has a full-time job, they can still trade stock options, correct?
Yes, sir. Even me.
Right. And if somebody has a family, if they have kids and a family, or they got errands to run, maybe they got to take their kid to soccer practice or their kid to recital, you could still make time and do it from home and make money trading stock options, right?
Yes, sir. That's accurate. That's correct.
All right, Chris. So before we get into talking about stock options, I want you to kind of give people a brief background of how you got started, because I was looking on your website, I checked you out on YouTube, and you used to work for Lowe's for a while before you got into trading stock options. So tell people, because everybody's got to eat, everybody's got bills to pay.
Right.
So tell people kind of like where you came from and how you got started and what you were doing before you became a options trader.
Yeah. So it's crazy, right? It's a crazy story. So I was actually working for this company for 9 years. For 9 years, worked for this company. I started off making like $11 an hour. And then by the time I left, I was making roughly around $16, $17 an hour. So in 9 years, I got a $5 to $6 raise. And I'm like, I can't, I can't do it. I can't have a family, get married, have kids and all that and making only $16, $17 an hour. So April 2015, I just quit. I quit.
Out the blue?
Out the blue. I went home the day before I quit. I went home to my she's my fiance at the time, and I started punching the air and all that stuff and just crying. I was like crying boohoo tears. I knew the Most High had more for me than what I was doing. And she's like, okay, babe, I got you. We good. Okay. So boom, she said, I support you. Quit my job, and then I started working at Lowe's. When I say I hated Lowe's, I hated Lowe's with a passion, right? So when working at Lowe's, making $10.35 an hour. Anytime someone would come up to me and say, where is the toilets or where is the nails? I say, go to aisle 13. Go to aisle 13. I just sent everybody to aisle 13, no matter what they was asking for. I hated that job. And that's kind of how I got to the place where I am now, just basically by going through those particular jobs. And eventually the Most High blessed me with a better job. And then he introduced me to stock options in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got introduced to stock options. And ever since then, my life has changed.
Yeah, Chris. So that's why I could kind of relate to you, man, because I worked 10 years in a warehouse driving a forklift for General Electric. And it was just one of those things where it's like, man, I'm doing all I can do. I'm showing up work early. I'm staying late. I'm working nights, weekends, holidays. I'm working overtime. I'm doing everything I can do, but I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. And then even on paper, when it would say on paper you got a raise, so what happened is it would put you in a higher tax bracket. Union dues would go up. Your health insurance would go up. And then you're looking at your paycheck saying, where's all this money I got from my raise from my job? So I definitely have been there before, and I can relate. And when you're kind of on that hamster wheel going through the motions week after week after week, I can relate. So tell people about your story about what happened. So you were in South Carolina, you're on vacation, and tell people your story about what happened next.
So I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. First of all, I didn't want to go in the first place, right? It was a Valentine's Day, and my wife is like, let's go to the beach. I'm like, yeah. She's like, come on, let's go to the beach. I say, cool. And then we told one of our friends to come down there with us, right? So we was at Myrtle Beach. Me and my wife, we were at the bar. We was having some drinks and everything, just chilling. And then a person that works in the hotel, he came to the hotel and he said, he came into the bar and said, hey, do you guys want to do this wine tasting? We're like, sure, we do the wine tasting. Neither do we know we didn't know you had to pay for it after the fact, right? If you would have said we had to pay for it up front, I would have said, no, we're not going. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
we at the wine tasting, and this group comes, like probably like 5 or 6 people. And one guy, he was like, we've been on vacation for 8 weeks. As soon as he said he's on vacation for 8 weeks, I said, I need to find out what this man does to be on vacation for 8 weeks, him and his family. So I threw out my trucking company. I had a trucking company at the time. I'm like, I got a trucking company. He didn't bite on it at all. I said, I want to start an HVAC company. He didn't bite on it at all. And then the people we went down there with, he said, I want to learn about the stock market. When I say the guy's eyes lit up, he was like, man, he just started talking about the stock market for the next 3 hours. He's buying us drinks, shots, talking about the stock market. He said, man, I just came downstairs and made $1,000 on Tesla today. I'm like,
Really?
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, whatever, bro. I'm like, I don't even know what Tesla is really. I know it's a car, but whatever, bro. I didn't know anything about the stock market at all.
So you didn't believe him when he told you?
No, I didn't believe. The whole time he was talking to us for 3 hours, I'm like this. Excited, but nah, this can't be true. Excited,
Right.
Nah, this can't be true. And then he said the magic words. He said, hey, listen, when you get back home, give me a call and I'll set your screen up for you. I got home. He said, I'll set my screen up for you. He set my screen up for me. And ever since then, he threw me in the water and said, go swim. And I started drowning at first, but then I learned how to swim eventually.
Okay. Yeah. So this guy told you he was on vacation for 8 weeks, and that got your attention, and you like, we're off to the races from there. Because he was telling you, hey, I made $1,000 in a day trading the stock options. Me, not just him, but him and his whole family was on a vacation for 8 weeks. And you just was like, and you just thought that there's got to be something to this. And so you were just thinking like, man, if what this guy's telling me is the truth, I got to investigate this more. And that kind of changed your whole life, right?
When I say changed my whole life, I mean literally changed everything. Because now I went for the fact like, okay, I have to work X amount of hours to get a paycheck.
Right.
The paycheck pay the bills, or if I'm short or whatever, right? And then that's it. But now when I got introduced to the stock market with stock options, I can go into the stock market and make it my own personal ATM. I go into the stock market. One day, I understand the story of the market telling me, I might get $1,000 this day. I might get $400 this day. I might lose $200 this day. I might make $2,000 this day. Over the course of time, the main thing is just to build that account. And when I'm telling you, I was like, if I would have known this existed when I was younger, life would be totally different. Totally different. Yeah.
Well, I just like your story that you were able to work from, making $10, $11 an hour, working at Lowe's. You're going on vacation with your family. You happen to bump into this guy. You didn't even know him. You didn't even believe him. But you were just kind of like walking out there on faith and giving it a shot. And now you consistently are making like 10 grand a month trading stock options. So explain to our audience and explain to me in layman's terms, what is stock options in layman's terms? Because people know that they've heard of day traders and they've heard of people that buy and hold money. Maybe they bought stock and they put it in their 401k, but not too many people are familiar with what stock options is. So kind of give them like a quick synopsis of what that is.
All right. So think about this. Think about if someone has a house, right? And they say, listen, this house is worth $300,000, but I'm going to give you this house for $150. And you can have this house for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. The longer you have it, the more it costs. But I'm going to give it to you for 1 week. I'm going to charge you $150. You can do whatever you want to with this house. You can go have house parties and make money, whatever, rent it out for a week. I don't care what you do. You can do whatever you want to with this house, but you can make it. However much money you make, you keep that money yourself. Okay? But you have to sell it by a certain day. If you do not sell it by this day, you have to buy this house for $300,000. But if you sell it before that date, you get to keep all the profits you made. And if you lose, you only lose $150. That's what stock options is, lease to own. Someone is leasing you their stock for a certain amount of time, and while they're leasing that stock to you, you can do it. You can make as much money as the market allows you to make off of it. If you lose, you only lose what you invested. It's a beautiful thing because everything's at a discount. You think about this stock costs $300,000. If you want to buy 100 of them, you can get 100 of them for $150. That stuff is life-changing. It blew my mind. It's crazy. But that's a quick 1-2 punch of what stock options is.
Right. And so I like it. So you're leasing it up. So it's like if I came to you and I said, hey, man, you came and said, I have this $100,000 car that I would
Mhm.
sell you, and instead of you selling me the car, you say, hey, I'll let you go ahead and you can rent it out or whatever, right? And then you have so many days to rent the car out, and then you can bring it back. So it's
Bring it
similar
back.
to that, right?
That's
So
exactly what it is.
and so what I want to talk about real quick is that a lot of people have fear of the stock market because they see the stock market go up and then just out of nowhere it crashes. So a
Right.
lot of people are like, man, I can't afford to drop 100, 500, $1,000 in the stock market and
Mhm.
lose it all. So
Right.
what I want to talk about real quick is you tell people in your coaching and training program, they have something where they can put a stop or a put on that trade. So let's say it's here and you think it's going to go up and then it starts to go down. You could just put a stop on it right there and say, okay, I'm not willing to lose no more than $20 on this trade. So talk
Exactly.
about that real quick.
Yep. So I always call this risk management, right? The most important thing about the stock market is not making money, it's not losing your money. Because if you're in the stock market for a long time, right? For example, if you have funds in your account and you're trading, you're gonna eventually make money as long as you do not lose all your money, right? So we have this thing called a stop loss, and you can do this thing called an OCO. And basically, you tell the system, "Hey, I'm going to get into this trade, and I want to make $200." And you say, "Boom! When you make $200, I want you to sell out, okay, and take the profits." And you can tell the system at the same time, "I only want to lose $50." And then you tell the system, when I get to this level right here, sell immediately for $50. The OCO says one cancels the other one. So whichever one happens first, either I'm going to make $200, I'm going to lose $50. You tell the system that, so you're protected. So you can do that in the morning, go to work, come back home, check your computer. Oh, today I made $200. But if you would have lost, you would only going to lose $50. You have the control to tell the system what to do. Okay. So that's why it's not gambling. You have to understand the story the market is telling you. If you understand what the story the market is telling, you're going to be okay.
Okay, I'm with you so far. So now explain a little bit about, first of all, how someone can do this if they have a full-time job, and explain how you can get someone who's maybe a newbie or don't have a lot of experience, how they can go from right now 0 to where they can get to the point where they're making 10 grand a month trading stock options like you do.
Yep. So think about this. First and foremost, you want to think about if someone works a full-time job. Okay. If you work a full-time job and you cannot be at your computer, what you have to do is you have to put the work in before you go to work. Right. So before the market happens, you have to analyze the stock. Okay. You can set limit orders to put you in when the stock hit a certain level. All these things are automated. You just have to know where you want to enter it. Right. And know when you want to enter and when you want to exit. You can tell the stock, get in at this level automatically. As soon as you get in, I want you to set a stop loss to take profits and a limit stop to take profits and a stop loss to lose if you take a loss. You can tell the system that, and you don't have to be there. Okay. And then the thing about a newbie, when I came into the market, I was a newbie. Everyone that comes to my course for the most part are newbies. Right. And we've taken people from having no idea of what the stock market is whatsoever. Day one of class, we start at the very beginning, and we take you on a journey throughout this 4 weeks. We take you on a journey to the point where you're saying, holy crap, I can speak a different language now. That's what we do. So it's a beautiful thing. The reason why it scares people, because a lot of people say it's not for them. When I tell you it is for you, it's for everyone. Everyone should be investing in the stock market, no matter what you say. Anybody, everybody.
My biggest thing is you just have to invest in your education, and you have like an introductory class. I think it's $7 or something. You want to tell people about your introductory class that you have and what's in this like course that you offer people. So that way, if you just spend the $7 and you tried it out and you're like, hey, this ain't for me, you ain't out nothing but a Big Mac and fries. But if you like it and it's something that interests you, then you could go further, right?
Exactly. So what we have, I take everybody on a journey, right? So I call it taking from your captivity into your promised land. So similar to the Bible where the children of Israel was in Egypt and they got taken out of Egypt by Moses into the promised land, right? So the $7 mini course, basically what that course is, it's giving you 3 hours of impactful information, right? I'm breaking things down. Like I'm literally breaking a lot of stuff down for $7, right? And you get bonuses as well. But that's stage 1 of your journey. Okay. Stage 2 of the journey, if you say, hey, I'm interested in the stock option thing, you only spent $7, right? Like you said. Stage 2 is our 5-day stock option challenge. So for 5 days, I'm teaching you live for 5 days straight. Okay, so you get me for an hour every day, and then my partner, part of my team, JT, she does Q&A with you. Soon as class is over, she goes into Q&A with you for another hour. So you get 2 hours of us for 5 days straight, and that's only $17, right? And we're teaching you live, right, for 5 days straight. And that's just getting you more involved and understanding. We set your account up. We take you through the foundations of stock option trading. From there, we have our 4-week masterclass, and then we have our year-long coaching program.
Okay, got it. So, we have a question here. One Pug says, hey, what's up, Jeff? And C-Jack's been following C-Jack for a while, but scared to get started. So that's what we're here to help you guys out, because, you don't have to be an expert. Like you said, Chris, before, in another life, before he started trading stock options, you were working at Lowe's, and I was driving a forklift at General Electric. So, it's not one of them things where you have to have, a master's degree or whatever to get started. You just start with where you are with what you have. And to me, I'm going to sign up, guys. I'm not an expert in the stock market, but, for $7 course, you can at least kind of put your foot in the water and test it out and see if it's for you. See if it's something that you're interested in. I like it because Chris said that if you have a full-time job, you can do it. If you have a family and you have to run around and do errands, that could be something for you. And also, if you're traveling, let's say I'm in Florida and I got to go to Vegas for a week or whatever. I have a conference or I'm on vacation for a week. You can access to the computer. You can still go in and log in on the computer and do what you need to do while you're on vacation, right?
I was in Jamaica. I was in Jamaica a couple weeks ago. I wake up in the morning, look at the ocean, and I'm trading stock options. It's beautiful. It's freedom. Once you learn it, you will understand what freedom looks like and what it feels like. I'm telling you, it's beautiful.
And also, Chris says it in his basic course, like you guys, you don't have to start trading real money. He tells you guys to start trading play money to get started till you feel comfortable, right?
Exactly. So they give you $200,000 of fake money. I wish it was real money, right? But it's $200,000 of fake money, and you can trade that as long as you like until you get comfortable trading your real money. And it's the exact same thing as you actually trading the real market. So it's just like me. If I'm trading and make $1,000 trading real money, and you do the exact same thing I do, and you make $1,000 trading fake money, if you was trading real money, you made $1,000. It's the exact same. There's no difference, except for you don't have any emotions tied to it because it's not real money. That's the only difference.
Right. So it's like instead of you jumping in a boxing ring, you punch in the punching bag just to get used to it. And then whenever you're ready to throw some money in there. Now, I have a question. How much money should someone have to get started? If I'm interested in trading stock options, should I start off with $500, $1,000? How much money would you advise someone to get started with this business?
So I always tell people start with at least $500, okay? And I tell people start with at least $500 because of this. Even if you can start off with $10,000, start off with a smaller number because I need you to understand how it feels to make that first trade with your real money. Because your emotions are tied into your money, your hard-earned money, right? So you got to get that feeling. But at least start off with $500, and now you start getting your feet wet. And from there, you just want to start growing your account, build. If you have more money to put in, once you get comfortable, put more money in. You can start off moving a little bit faster. But at least $500 get you rolling.
Okay, now, what advice would you have for newbies if someone is maybe they're scared of the stock market, maybe they just don't have a lot of experience, and they're a newbie? Because a lot of the stuff about making money, guys, is all about your mindset. It's all in your mentality. And so if you can get your mindset right, once you have the training, because to me, that's 90% of the work is your mindset and then your education and your training. The rest of it, you're just making trades, right?
Yep. Now, that was great what you just said. You just said your mindset. That's the first thing you have to start with. Because just think about this. Every day you go to your full-time job, you're at risk. Because when you go to your full-time job, your whole livelihood relies on that company not tapping you on the shoulder and saying, we don't need you anymore. People think they go into work to work. Listen, you're going into work to not get tapped on your shoulder to say you're fired. Because if you're fired, if they say you get fired, your whole world falls down, but your mortgage still due, your car payment still due, car insurance, food still got to, kids still got to eat, and your job doesn't care anything about that. Mindset. That's where it starts. So if you're afraid, that's why we gave you something for $7. For $7, you don't have to pay the large amounts of money just to figure out if you want to do something. For $7, you can go and watch a 3-hour impactful video plus the bonuses. And what you will find is that this is probably something you want to do. And then for $17 after that, you can learn live from me for 5 days for $17 without putting a dent in your pocket at all, just to see if it's something that you want to do before you move forward.
All right. Now, what would be your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help somebody out?
Say it one more time.
What would be your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help somebody out if they want to get started in trading stock options?
Top 3 things. First thing first is first thing first. Go look at your current situation. Go look at your boss. Go look at your coworkers, and look at them and say to yourself, I'm not going to be here too much longer, okay? Unless I want to, okay? That's what you do,
right? Okay.
Right? That's the first thing. You're going to speak that thing into existence. I'm going to work here if I want to work here. I don't have to, right? Second thing is I tell everybody, listen, when you trade stock options, first invest in your education. I wish I would invest in my education when I first started, right? When I first started, I did not invest in my education, okay? It took a while for me to say, okay, I need to invest in myself. The third thing I would tell everybody, once you get into it, I need you to start practicing with fake money. Do not practice real money, practice with paper money. Get used to it. Those are the first 3 things I would do. First thing, evaluate your current situation and say, not should I trade stock options? You should tell yourself, what happens if I don't trade stock options? Right? Or what happens if I don't do something to get out of this current situation I'm in? Second thing is invest in yourself, education. Third thing is paper money first.
Okay, now Chris, I want to talk real briefly about how you trade the stock options has changed your life, because you said you had a trucking company, you were looking at HVAC, you had other projects of other things that you wanted to do, and so tell people how you went from you working your 9-to-5 job at Lowe's and how your life was before and how it is now that you're able to trade stock options. So let's talk about that.
So this is how it went. So I actually had a trucking company, had 2 dually hot shot, 40-foot hot shots, right? Beautiful. Black with the Gatorade, 40-foot goosenecks. It was beautiful, right? Had that for like 2 years. And I had a dispatching company, right? The trucks were great, but at the same time, the margin with the profit margin was low, as well as if something happened, a tire blow or the driver's out for a minute, it's just crazy and ridiculous, right? Next thing is I had the dispatching company. It was great, but it was too much time. But when I started doing stock options, I'm like, holy crap, I can make $500 in like 15, 20 minutes and be done. I shut the trucking company down, shut the dispatching company down, and said, I'm focusing strictly on this.
Right.
And that's what I did.
Chris, go ahead.
No, I mean, and that's what I did. So now, for example, if I want to go to LA and watch the Lakers play, it's not a thought of me saying, okay, can I afford to go to Laker tickets? No, I purchased Laker tickets to see LA Clippers and Los Angeles Lakers play first home game of LA. I can go. Why? Because if the tickets are $2,000, I can go in the market and make $2,000 over the course of 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Because I understand this. I have the skill set to do it. Okay. I understand it to do it. But in those opportunities when you have to wait on your paycheck to come every 2 weeks, you don't have that freedom to do that. Man, that stuff right there, that's all. And I always say all praise to the Most High, because he put all this together and he orchestrated. This was not a plan for me. He said, I didn't have no thought process by this. The Most High put all this together, and I'm just thankful for everything.
So, Chris, tell people the story real quick, because I was catching your live a couple weeks ago, and you were talking about how you had booked a concert or whatever, and you said you made more money in the stock options than you did booking the show. So tell people about that real quick. Go ahead.
So I used to have throw parties a lot, right? So one day we booked Yo Gotti. We booked Gucci. It was a CIAA event. We booked Gucci Mane, the rapper, and the singer Miguel, right? Invested a lot of money into both of them, right? Also, a few months later, we went and booked this guy named Yo Gotti. I made more money trading stock options. For example, this past February, the thing like February 2022, and one day I made $14,000 for earnings play, right? I made more money on that one play than I made bringing Gucci Mane down, bringing Miguel down, and bringing Yo Gotti down. Because, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, now that's crazy to me that you could, you would think that people put all these big venues and they sell all these tickets and then they have to pay for the bartenders, the staff, security, all this arrangements, and you made more money trading stock options than you did putting on a concert, right?
Because in the concert, at the clubs, for example, we already $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in the hole before the night even starts. right? So think about smart investing. If I'm $60,000 in the hole already before the night start, if one bad thing goes wrong, if it rains, if somebody starts fighting, the whole thing is over. I can't get my money back. When thinking about it now, it was not smart. It was not a smart investment at all. But you live and you learn.
All right, now there's one more thing that I want to talk about. Is I was watching your video, it might have been a week or 2 weeks ago, and you were talking about planning for long term, and you were telling people that you want other people to start investing, taking $1,000 a week and invest it in the stock market long term. So let's talk about that real quick, because I don't want people to think that this is just smash and grab, and you just trying to get quick money and then you move on to something else. Let's talk about that real quick, Chris.
No, so the thing about it is this. This is not like just, I'm gonna make a quick flip and be gone. No, this is a skill set you do for the rest of your life. Every day I wake up until I can't move my fingers, I'm going to be trading stock. I can be 99 years old, right? As long as I can hit that button one time, I'm good. But long-term investment, you want to build a portfolio. Everyone should have the S&P 500. The S&P 500, everyone should be investing in the S&P 500. On average, the S&P 500 gives you anywhere from 6 to 8% return on your investment every single year. Okay, if you invest in the S&P 500 every single year, say you put 1,000 in every single year, you put 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. It's going to keep on growing, because over the course of time, everybody, the stock market goes up. During COVID, the market, the whole world shut down. People are dying left and right. You can't leave your house. The world shut down. The stock market did this.
Right, it just kept on moving.
Straight up. It fell down and went straight up, and it was the most epic run I've ever seen. I haven't seen, like I said, I'm not that old. You see what I'm saying? But it's epic run. It was ridiculous. It went straight up.
Right. And my thing is, think about that. If you did that consistently, you took $1,000 a week and you invested it in the stock market long term, and you did it over 10, 15, 20, 30 years, by the time you get to retirement age, you'll be set. You won't have nothing to worry about, So I like that. Like, we have the same, even though like I'm in Florida and we have the same type of mindset of thinking long term. I'm not looking to try to make a quick flip of selling something one time and then that's it. Like, you'd be able to redo this play over and over and over again. And I didn't even until I heard Chris say that he was making over $10,000 a month consistently, month after month after month. It wasn't like that he got lucky and had one big hit and made 10 grand one month and all the other months were down. You've been doing this consistently month after month after month. Now, how many years have you been trading stock options now?
3 years.
Okay, cool.
I was 32 years old when I learned about 32, I believe, when I learned about stock options.
All right, cool. I want to give a quick shout out to the people here in the chat. I wanted to say hey to Juan Puggy, says congratulations on your new home, C-Jack.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I wanted to say hey to Harry. I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy here, BK from the Rockies. And I think that's it. If you guys have any other questions, you can be free to drop it in the comment section. But tell everybody where they can find you and follow you at. If they want to get more information, because to me, I'm thinking, man, if all I have to do is pay for a Big Mac and fries, and I think I'm going to be out $7 to get an intro into trading stock options, and you can legitimately make 10 grand a month, month after month after month for the rest of your life, and do it from home in the comfort of your home in the air conditioner. You're not out, you're not out in the roof. Right, you're not out in 100-degree heat. You're not getting rained on. So tell people a little bit about where they can find you at and follow you on Instagram. And I have your link listed down below. They can go check out your course, your $7 course, and your webpage. Go ahead, tell them about that.
So you can find me on Instagram as CJack130 at CJack130. There's a lot of scam pages out there as well, but I'm CJack130, no underscore, no 2Ks, no S's, just CJack130. Also, go to my website. It's go.iwantknowledge.com. That'll take you to the $7 course. That's stage one. Just stage one, okay? Once you watch that, if that's something that you want to do, you can go to stage 2, which is the $5 challenge. And then stage 3 and stage 4 will be on down the road for you, okay? But take those two things, spend time with it, watch it, but go to that website. Follow me on Instagram as well, and that's where you can find me.
Right. So I've been following our guest, Chris Jackson, for a while. So I know he ain't like he just showed up last week and was one of those fly-by-night companies. So give people your final thoughts or final words of wisdom you can leave our audience with. And then all the links are going to be down below if you guys want to follow our guest and check out his course. I mean, for $7, you can try it out and see if it's for you or not.
Right. Yeah, so this is what I would say. like I always give all praise to the Most High, right? And I'm thankful that He allowed me to be in this position. This is what I would truly tell you. Time doesn't go back, time goes forward, right? So we can't go back and change what happened in the past. We can only focus on what's going in the future. When you look back and say, what happened 5 years, look back at your life previous from 5 years. What are you doing different this 5 years that has changed your life? So look forward to the next 5 years and say, what can you do to change your life? And like I say, I lead people out of captivity. Whatever your Egypt moment is, when you was in your land of captivity, whatever that moment is right now, it may be that you're working all the time. It may be that you don't have time for your kids, that you're not making enough money, or you just like you make enough money, but you just don't have any time. That's captivity, right? The journey from captivity into the promised land can happen, but someone has to make that choice to do it. And that choice is you. I can lead you across the week. I can put the stake in the water and let the Red Sea part for you. And you can walk on dry ground across. But you have to make that decision that I'm going to leave out of my captivity and I'm going to go into this unknown world I know nothing about. But I just know on the other end, there's something that can happen. And I can help you get there, honestly. I mean, truly, I can help you get there. So that would be the final words I would say. Next 5 years of life, make it count, because time doesn't go back, it goes forward.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Chris has already trained over 1,000 people in his course, in his classes. And you got to think there's a fork in the road. Are you going to turn right or are you going to turn left? Exactly. And once you learn this skill set, you could be 70, 80, 90 years old and still trading stock options. Stock market was around during the Great Depression, and it's going to be around in another 100 years from now. So it ain't going nowhere. And I can't guarantee you that you're going to be making $10,000 a month like Chris is, but just get your feet wet and get started. Like I said, the only thing that you're risking is a Big Mac and fries. So if that's all you have to do to get started and pay $7 to sign up for the course, all the links are going to be down below. I brought Chris on because you can tell he's a real honest, hardworking, down-to-earth kind of guy. And he didn't even know me, and I reached out to him on Instagram and asked him questions. And even if you hadn't taken his course, he's still there to answer your questions and help point you in the right direction. So all the links are going to be down below. You can go ahead and follow our guest, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to try to be more consistent on YouTube. I've been moving the past couple weeks, so now that I got settled in, I'm going to try to drop some new content. But be sure to follow our guy here, Chris Jackson, and he puts out you do free videos also on Instagram as well. People want to jump in and ask you questions, right?
I do a lot of lives on Instagram, and also JT Automations has allowed me the opportunity to have my own podcast on his show, on his channel. So be looking out for I did an interview with JT Hustle. Well, I actually interviewed JT this time. So he's getting interviewed and tell us about his story. We're probably going to release that on YouTube probably in like a week or so.
All right, awesome. Well, we want to appreciate you for taking time out of your day to jump on and hang out with us. Guys, go ahead and follow our guest, Chris Jackson, CJack130 on Instagram. All the links are going to be down below. And you got to start somewhere. You know, he started out making $10, $11 working at Lowe's, and now his life's totally different now because he just made one decision. That's all you guys have to do. You're one decision away from a totally different life. Till then, I will see you guys next time. You guys go ahead and follow our guest. All the links are going to be down below. We'll catch you guys in the next video. You guys have a great night. Bye, guys.
Thank you for having me.